What's up, everybody? It's your boy Johnny back here with another video. Today, this video is in response to a subject that a channel called The King's Court started. The subject is, do you still like the songs you listened to when you were a child? So I'm gonna do my version of it. He did his age from the age 1 to 7 years old, so I'm gonna do the same. From 1 to 7 years old. So that goes from the year 1998. Or 1988, I'm sorry, to 1995. So, really, me doing for me from the age 0 to 7. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute. So, I'm going to get started. I chose about 5 songs, 5 artists. So, let me get started. I think it'd be pretty cool. Alright, so, 1988. I'm 0 to 1 years old, okay? So, I was born August 31st, 1988. And in Long Island, New York. So, somebody else, my mom, remembers this song from me because my mom was a huge fan of this guy, George Michael. Of course, this album came out in 1987. I was born in 1988. At that time, who really wasn't a fan of George Michael? My mom was a huge fan. She loved this album. And there's a song in this album. She said, when I was a baby, because I'm a huge George Michael fan now. When I was a baby, she would put it on when she was trying to put me to sleep and I was making a fuss, and I would fall asleep like instantly like that. So there's a song in this album, and that song, I have a 12-inch single I'm going to show, is this song. A song called Father Figure. So Father Figure, great song. It was actually a huge hit for him on the Faith album. Awesome song. So apparently when I was a baby, my mom would put this on and I would go right to sleep. And do I still enjoy this song to this day? I do. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of George Michael now. I love his music. He's a great singer-songwriter. Great song. This is one of his biggest hits from the biggest period of his career, the Faith album. So, yeah, I still listen to this song. It's still a great song. So, pretty awesome. Alright, so these next two, these are also music memories of my mom because my mom... she stayed home and raised us kids. There was 4 of us. I was the last of 4. I have 3 older sisters. So, I really took in a lot that my mom listened to because my dad, at this time of my life, he used to work a lot of hours. He worked crazy hours. He worked 7 to 7. 7 at night to 7 in the morning. So, I wouldn't see him that much. So, we didn't have a lot of time with him at that point of our lives. But I'm going to do a little storytelling as we go along, so bear with me. So anyway, so the next one I want to talk about is this guy. He's a Latino artist, came out in the early 90s. His name is Jon Secada. So this is his first debut album, self-titled. And there's a song on here called, where is it at? Here it is. Just Another Day. Just Another Day could have been the first single off this album. I just have memories of my mom. We had this cassette when we were kids. It's also on some home videos. My mom, she would play this cassette over and over, and Just Another Day was that song. It was the first song on the album, and I just remember her always singing it, always playing it. But we did enjoy it. It was fun. And this guy is a great singer, man. Really awesome voice. It's like it's effortless. If you don't know who Jon Secada is, check him out. He was big in the U.S. at this time. This was probably his biggest album. That was probably his biggest single in the U.S. He's probably still big in other Latino countries, but not here. I think he's still active. So Just Another Day was the song on this album. Alright, now the big question is, can I still listen to that song today? I hate to say it, I cannot. And this is why. So the job I work, it plays this radio station over the loudspeaker. It's one of those it's that station, kind of like when you go into stores, they play the same songs over and over again. It's like just one big playlist of the same songs. So I literally hear that song Just Another Day every day. And it's horrible. I mean, it's a great song too, but I just can't listen to it. The chances are really slim that I'll pull out this album and listen to that song or this album now in general. At least till I don't hear that song every day at work anymore. So Jon Secada, Just Another Day, good song, but really can't listen to it right now anymore. So sorry to say, it's a great artist. Here's another one. This is another one I remember my mom listening to her greatest hits. I remember her always having a cassette in the car. This is another Latino singer. They're like from the same era. This is Gloria Estefan's greatest hits. And the song I'm going to go with on here that I remember very vividly is The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. That was a really big song, good song. It's like, the rhythm is gonna get you, the rhythm is gonna get you tonight. Dun, 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 dun. And the whole, oh, 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 like that whole thing. It's just a really good song, man. It gets you dancing. It's a good, like, almost like a salsa feel too to it, from what I remember. But I just remember my mom playing the hell out of this greatest hits on a cassette in our car we had, driving in the car with her. Crazy. So my mom liked a lot of that pop stuff, you know, a lot of like pop from, you know, that was big at the time. So, but can I still listen to that song, The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You? I can. This is one of those albums I listen to. It takes me down memory lane. I wonder how my mom would act if I played this, like, around her, you know. But she's just full-blown country now. That's all she listens to, man, is country music. So it's kind of weird, kind of funny. But anyways, so Gloria Estefan, The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. I can still listen to it. All right, so the last two artists and songs. These are the ones I discovered on my own. And this one is in the title of my YouTube channel name. But it's not Elvis, because I didn't discover Elvis till I was about 13. And it's not Prince, because I discovered him, I want to say I was between 15 and 17. So, you probably guessed by now who it was. And that was Michael Jackson. So, fast forward to the summer of 1995. So, like I said, we lived in Long Island, New York. So, around this time, in the summer of 95, we packed up, I think really June of 95, and moved down here. Me and my family, we packed up and moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And I was about 7 at the time when we moved. So, long story short, my family friends we knew, they lived in New York with us too, but they moved down here, I think in 93. And he calls my father up and says, John, you and your family really need to move down here. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to live. You know, it's a great place to live, great place you can work. Because they did the same work together. He goes, you can get a job down here, move down here. So my dad, he took a chance, took a little bit of vacation time, went down to Georgia for about a week, secured a job there. It's funny, when my dad came back from Georgia, he brought back souvenirs for the 1996 Olympics that were held in Atlanta, you know, the year after. So it was really cool. So my dad was able to secure a job, came back. Thank God everything happened the way it did. We sold the house super quick, and we were able to move down to Georgia. Because we really were struggling to make ends meet when we did live in New York. It really is expensive. The standards of living are different. But today, I tell you what, standards of living is right behind, Georgia's right behind New York. But anyways, so we moved down here, and we were able to move down here in 1995. So, and we've been down here ever since, me and my family. So it's been about 25 years this year. Yeah. So 25 years, me and my family's been down here. It's crazy. That's really crazy. So anyways, so when we moved down here, we lived in this little apartment and we were waiting for our house to be built in Flowery Branch, Georgia, which used to be country. I remember we lived there. It was country as hell. Not anymore. It looks nothing like country out there. Anyways, so we lived in this little apartment in the metro Atlanta area in Duluth, waiting for our house to be built. And I remember, and this is a day that I discovered Michael Jackson. So I remember we were all kids. We're sitting there watching the VMAs, 1995 VMAs. And this came out in 95, the History album. This was his first album after, so this is what, he was like making a little comeback after his legal issues in 1993. And he did a performance on the VMAs, which was awesome. He did a medley of his hits. And then he did this crazy dance routine with the song Dangerous. Then he closed it with the song on this album, which I'm going to talk about now, is, I think it was the second single, the song You Are Not Alone. So when the song You Are Not Alone came on, me and my sisters, we really enjoyed that song. And this is what started me having a lifelong obsession and being a fan of Michael Jackson. I just remember it coming on MTV, watching it, hearing it on the radio, then trying to record it off the radio, you know, to get a copy of it. because I would sit by the radio and wait for it to come on. I'm like, oh my gosh, when's the song gonna come on? And then, oh my gosh, here it is, record. Then shut it off, stop it before the DJ comes in. So we really enjoyed the song, You Were Not Alone, me and my sisters. Do I still listen to it today? Yes, because obviously I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and it's actually I think it was one of his last #1 hits he had. So, and it's still a great song. So, You Were Not Alone, still listen to this day. Alright, so now I'm to the last artist already. So the last artist. This guy, he's a country singer. So before I show it, I just want to talk for a minute, do a little bit more storytelling. So also when we moved down here to Atlanta, Georgia, we had this car with a crappy radio in it. It seemed like it couldn't reach nothing but country stations. I mean, I'm sure there was other stations it reached, but not many. And plus, there probably wasn't as many radio stations then here in Georgia. So, especially in the metro Atlanta area. So, this radio only reached basically country stations. So, me and my family, we learned to enjoy country music. And we still enjoy country music to this day. Because when you live in New York, you don't think about country music, especially at that time. And a lot of people, I feel like, at that time in New York, didn't listen to country music. But... so when we started learning all the country artists, we all had our favorites. My parents, they had Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. One of my other sisters loved Alan Jackson. I remember another sister of mine, she's still a huge fan of him, Kenny Chesney. And this guy was my guy, and it's not Garth Brooks, but as big as Garth Brooks was then, none of us in my family really cared about him, to be honest. But this was a guy who was for me. This guy. His name is Neil McCoy. This is his 1995 album called You Gotta Love That. And I'm going to talk about that song, You Gotta Love That. So he's a guy, when we're listening to the radio, I picked him out to be my favorite guy. The song You Gotta Love That came on. It was between that or a song called For a Change that's on here. Great song. And I just been a fan of his still to this day. I mean, he's not as active as he used to be, but still enjoys music. When he comes to town, I do see him in concert. I actually had a chance to meet him a couple of times, which was awesome. I got him to autograph a CD, some of my CDs of his. Not this one yet. Maybe next time I meet him, if I can, I'll bring this for him to autograph. But his concert tickets are really cheap, so that's why I usually see him. Still puts on a great show. Still sounds amazing, and he still performs the song You Gotta Love That. So I enjoy it. Can I still listen to that song today? Yes. I could, because this is another one of those times where this artist, he brings me down memory lane. You know, first moving to Georgia and learning country music and how he was my guy, and still is. I still enjoy him, because I don't listen to a lot of new country now. I'm very selective with new country artists. But you know what, people, I think that's it. This was a cool subject. Thanks, Ed. This was a good idea. This is a good subject, cool subject to do, to show some artists and songs and share if we still enjoyed them like we did when we were kids. So that's my piece for this. So I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you all next time in the next video. Until then, keep staying safe out there, and see you later, and goodbye.